this is Mel here, House of Officer Matt, DC Camp. Today I'll be giving a quick tutorial on canning. I'll be canning carrots today. So Lord's will you all learn something from it and enjoy. Shalom. Okay, so we are pressure canning carrots. These are actually bought already cut up like this, so I just cleaned them up. When you're canning, you want to can everything at the same temperature. These are my quart size jars. I have wide mouth and regular mouth. These just came out of the oven. I like to heat mine and sterilize mine in the oven, so they are hot. I'm going to be what you call raw packing the carrots. So the carrots are raw, they haven't been cooked, they're just going straight into the jars. The jars are hot, and I'm not packing them with water. You don't always have to can with just plain water. So I just made my own little mix here. Chicken broth, onion, curry, parsley, garlic, and maybe some other stuff. I used the Presto canner. This is a 16 ounce, so you can't stack with this one. That would be the 23 quart. In here, you see the steam. Like I said, everything needs to be hot. So the water is heating up in my canner. Let's see. In the canner. So it's kind of discolored. That happens. But there always needs to be a, I guess, a rack in there. So you want to make sure you have your rack so you don't have your jars just sitting right at the bottom on the fire. That's heating up. And I'm going to fill these jars up. So all right, so this is one jar done. Okay, so now I have all of my jars, 5 jars that are full with the carrots and liquid. I could actually do a 6, but with this canner I've put 7, at least 7 quart jars that would fit in this 16 quart canner. So I have 5. I could probably do another jar, but I don't have another jar prepared, so I'll probably just cook those during the week or something. So all of these are full to a 1-inch headspace at least. There, so that's how you do your measurements. And I don't think I debubbled them all. Let me see if you all can see any bubbles come up. So anyway, so yeah, you just go around the jar like so, this stick, and debubble. Just make sure there are no air bubbles and air pockets in there, and get that down in there. So we're debubbling. Our next step after debubbling is getting the lids on. All right, so I have my lids ready. They're soaking in. Well, it's probably not too hot now, it's probably warm now, but so these are lids. This is a ring. So, you know, when you get mason jars before canning, it would annoy me, those things, the lids, because I didn't know about canning, and I'm like, this is so stupid. Why, what is this thing? Why does it come out? Like, I had no idea why the thing in the middle wasn't attached to this, and I could just twist it on there, you know, without having to deal with that. But now I get it. So this is what preserves and seals the jar, so you'll see how that goes. And then the ring is, you know, what holds it down as it's canning and sealing. So these are reusable. The jars, of course, are reusable. These lids are not reusable to can. Once you've used a jar of food that you've canned, say, I don't know, jam or something, and you've already popped that off and now the jam is all gone, okay, you can reuse this to, like, if you're storing something in the refrigerator, or, you know, you just had some little leftover juice or something and you want to put it in like a little jar like this, so you can reuse it. So for like, yeah, so for like this, I'm using this jar as a seasoning container, so I'm able to see it's not sealed because it's a little button thing, so I can use this. So you can reuse it for things when you're not canning. So if you want to can again, you cannot reuse a lid. So before we actually put these lids on, from what I've learned, you want to wipe off the tops of your jars, because you know you want to get a complete seal. So any water or oil or grease that could prevent the lid from sealing. The best thing to do is use vinegar. Here I have white vinegar, so go around all of these. And I could have just used water or a dry paper towel, but no, I couldn't have, because if it was only water that I used, I could have just wiped it off. But if you're like canning chicken or canning anything with any types of oils or grease or something, you definitely want to use the vinegar, because the vinegar will clean that right off. So okay, all of those are wiped down.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
This is a magnet, and it's going to get our lid. This is a wide mouth one, so we're going to get it on here. Boom. All we're going to do now is go on with our ring to hold that down. So when you put this ring on, don't do it tight. They say fingertip tight. So you saw how I just put it on there and kind of tighten it a little bit. I'll show you again. So there we go. Bam. That's on there. Good enough. Boom. No wrist. No. I didn't even hold the jar so that's good enough. Also, so because you cannot reuse your lids, you may want to stock up on lids. I just got these from Amazon. This is literally just a whole sleeve of regular mouth lids. This whole thing here, I think it's, I don't know, 100 and something, maybe more. So yeah, so this is how you seal up your jars. So these are ready to go into the pressure canner. We use this is a jar lifter. So our supplies was a funnel, lid lifter, it actually says it on there, lid lifter, and this was the measuring tool / debubbler. Okay, so I mean, I can put these in here with my hand because they're not too hot, but I'm just going to be super professional and use the jar lifter. Take the jar lifter, put it in the hot water. Oh, and another tip, so the white vinegar that I use to wipe the rims, I can actually pour this in the water, and that helps with, actually it helps keeping the pan from staining the inside of the jars. It keeps it from being like cloudy. So these notches here, those measure where your water is. So there's another notch right here down there where my water stops. I always use that bottom notch again because that's where the people I watch on YouTube keep theirs. Oh no, because when you pressure can the quarts or pints, you only need about, what is it, 2 to 3 inches of water. So these higher notches are if you want to water bath can, because when you water bath can, the water has to actually come up a little above the jars. So that's another tip, or if you have a pressure canner and haven't used it yet, was wondering what that was, that's what that is. It measures out, it helps measure out the water. Okay, so that's 5, and again it's fits 7. Like if I were to move these closer together around the edge, I could get 6 all the way around and 1 in the middle. All right, so what I'm going to do now is put the lid on here, and we're going to let it vent for 10 minutes, and I'll show you all what that looks like. Okay, so now my jars are in the canner, and the heat is rising, so you can hear it boiling. The pressure is, you know, ramping up. Actually, it's not ramping up yet, the pressure, because it's actually being released. The steam is being released here. So this is where we put our weight regulator. So in order to know your weight for your regulator, you would have to know your altitude of where you live. So I live in an altitude where I need a 10-pound weight. So they go up to 15, 5, 10, and 15. So 5 would be without this little ring here, and 10 is one ring, and then another ring actually comes with it, and it, you know, I was able to pop that off. So this is 10 pounds with this one here. So what you do with this regulator, once the steam starts really shooting up, matter of fact, it is coming out pretty well, like a steady stream. You need like a strong, steady stream of steam, which is happening here. Then I want to set my timer. So you set it for 10 minutes. So you let this strong stream keep going for up to 10 minutes. And then what you'll do is take your weight here and sit it on top of it. And that's what helps build the pressure inside. And when that happens, and the pressure and your pressure is where it needs to be, this will pop up. I'll show you all that once it happens. So I'm gonna let my timer run, let the steam keep going, let everything get hot, and then I'll show you once I put my regulator on. And once this regulator goes on, you wait until it starts to move. It'll do a little jiggle thing, and that'll let you know, like, it's this will let you know, not this. This will let you know that there's pressure in there, in the can. But this, once it starts to move and shake, that'll let you know that the pressure is where it needs to be. So I'll show you all that when it gets to that point. Okay, so see how the steam is like shooting out now? And we got 12 more seconds on my clock, and this is the little thing I was telling you about. So it's already it's getting ready, starting to rise. Has some little, there's my timer. Has some little, a bit of water coming out, that's normal. So once I put the regulator on top, this is going to pop up, letting me know that, you know, not to touch the pot, not do anything, because there's pressure in there. Okay. I actually get kind of scared doing this to the steam, but all right, boom. Okay, and eventually, there it is, bam, it popped up that fast. So our next step is to wait for this. It kind of jiggles because there's so much pressure, you know, coming up. Y'all saw how the steam was coming up, so now the steam has nowhere to go, so it's just going to make this thing move. And I'll show y'all that. So once the regulator here, this jiggler, what is this? Once it starts to jiggle, the regulator starts to jiggle, then we set our timer for I'm trying to turn my camera around. Anyway, then we set our timer for the amount of time that we need to can whatever food that we're trying to preserve. So for these carrots, it'll be 30 minutes. They're in quart-size jars. Quart-size jars is 30 minutes, and I just put away my canning book. The paint-size jars, I don't know, probably be, I don't know, 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes maybe. But yeah, so I will be processing these for 30 minutes after this starts to jiggle. So right now I'm just letting it sit. I don't have a timer going or anything. My finished carrots. So here's a jar here, and you can see the color from the curry. You know, the little broth I made, I guess, and the onions and stuff. Seasonings are in there. There they are. And I took the rings off. These aren't all carrots. These are, I had previously canned some squash and zucchini. But so I just label it cherry carrots. That's the date. And yeah, and I take my rings off. Oh my goodness, I missed the ring here. These are supposed to come off because you don't want a false seal. I gotta wipe these off too, because that can give you a false seal, making you think that it's on there and it's really not. But and how to test that is, you know, you can just grab them by the lid. If the lid doesn't pop off, that means it's on there secure and tight. There they are. That's how they look. That's the curry. And then just give it a little shake. And you know, once you dump them out and put them in the pot, heat them up, you know, hopefully they taste good. So yeah, that's how you test to make sure the seal is secure and this is not popping in and out. You know, it's just staying there like this. You know, it has, I don't know if you hear that, you know, it's going up and down. It has that little pop. If there's a secure seal, that won't happen. So that's how you can tell. What else? But yeah, this is the finished product. And when you go to open it, you know, you just again want to make sure this seal is tight. And it's hard to open. You actually do need a can opener, you know, one of the ones that you can, like, you know, lay down and pop it up, something to just pop it up, because you won't really be able to do it with your fingers. It's pretty tight, so that's a good seal. And what else? You know, just look at it, smell it. You know, there's nothing in here looking moldy or anything. They just look like carrots. Same for the squash. You know, nothing looks moldy or crazy. And when you open it, you know, smell it, make sure it smells okay and has a good seal. As long as that seal is on there pretty good and tight, you should be good. All right, sure.
Oh, but first behold in your